Good morning, all of you all. And let us start with the fate of what is going to happen after the event of fertilization in plants. So yesterday we saw something called as double fertilization. You know? So let us quickly understand one more time in totality what had happened. Okay. So first we go ahead with microsporogenesis, that is formation of the pollen grain, right? So we saw that there is going to be the flower. Flower will have the third whorl called as the androecium. Androecium will be made up of stamen. Stamen would be made up of anther and the filament. The anther would be made up of four whorls called as epidermis, endothecium, middle layer, tapetum, right? Inside the tapetum layer lies the sporogenous tissue, which will undergo meiosis to form haploid cells. These haploid cells would be called as pollen grains. The pollen grain will further undergo two mitosis. The first mitotic division will give rise to two-celled structure, which is going to be the vegetative cell and the generative cell. The generative cell will further undergo one more mitotic division to give rise to two male gametes. So in totality, now the pollen grain would have two male gametes and the nucleus of the vegetative cell. When now this pollen grain along with the male gametes is ready, correct? In 60% of angiosperms, the second mitotic division takes place on the stigma, while in 40% it takes place in situ, is what we have already seen. Then we come to megasporogenesis and female gametogenesis. Here we have got the fourth and the innermost wall of the flower, which is called as gynoecium. Gynoecium will be made up of carpel or a pistil. This carpel or a pistil would be in turn having three parts: stigma, style, ovary, right? The ovary will have the placental tissue on which would be arranged the ovules, right? This ovule will be made up of a group of cells called as nucellus, correct? This nucellus की कुछ cells, okay, or maybe one of the cells of the nucellus, which is going to be near the microphylar end, is going to undergo meiosis. Fine. The meiotic product will give rise to four haploid structures, which we call it as megaspores. These megaspores are going to be in a linear tetrad form. Out of these four, the three will degenerate, and the one which is lying towards the chalazal end will sustain. This one which sustains would be called as functional megaspore. This functional megaspore will then undergo three mitotic divisions. So see, for your male gamete formation, there were two mitotic divisions. For the female gamete formation, it is three mitotic divisions. Okay? The three mitotic divisions will cause eight nucleated structure to be formed. The speciality of this is karyokinesis does take place, but it is going to have delayed cytokinesis. Means the cell wall formation will be at a later stage. So first, all the eight nuclei will be formed inside the functional megaspore, of which three will move towards the chalazal end, which will get the cell wall. And now these cells will be called as antipodal cells. The three nuclei will move towards the microphylar end. They will also now get the cell wall. Out of these three, two would be called as the synergids, and the one in the center would be called as the egg cell, right? With the two polar nuclei at the center, correct? The two polar nuclei will be surrounded by the common main cell ka cell wall. In this way, we will have seven celled, eight nucleated structure of embryo sac. Now, why do we call this functional megaspore as embryo sac? Because in this sac, there is going to be development of the embryo. Therefore, now the functional megaspore itself will be called as embryo sac, right? Then what happened? The pollen grains came, they landed on the stigma. Now, the synergid will decide if this pollen grain is of right type or wrong type. The filiform apparatus of the synergid, that is the finger-like projections of the synergids, right? They are going to have a continuous dialogue with the pollen. This is called as pollen pistil interaction. This is aided by chemoattractants. If the pollen grain is of the right type, then it will be allowed to imbibe the sugary syrup that is made by the stigma. When the sugary syrup will be imbibed by the pollen grain, it will start having turgidity. It will go on increasing in size. Finally, the pressure would be tremendous, due to which the pressure has to be released via the germ pore. Germ pores are the openings or the places where sporopollenin is not deposited. Sporopollenin is the composition of the outer wall of pollen grain, which is called as exine. On the other hand, the intine is entire. Intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. This intine will project or propel outside the germ pores, forming a tube-like structure. This tube-like structure will be called as the pollen tube. This pollen tube will pass through the style and it will be reaching towards the synergid, which is guiding the pollen grain to come towards itself. The minute the pollen tube tip and the synergid come in contact, both get degenerated. Due to this degeneration, three things happen simultaneously. First thing, first thing, release of the male gametes along with the cytoplasm of the pollen tube into the embryo sac. Second thing, the two polar nuclei fuse together to form secondary nucleus. And third thing, due to the degeneration of one synergid, the second synergid will now guide the male gametes to fuse first with the egg cell and the second male gamete to fuse with the secondary nucleus. In this way, the 2N structure that is formed, that is egg ka N and male gamete ka N, together would eventually develop into an embryo, because this structure would be called as a zygote. On the other hand, when the two polar nuclei will come together to form your 2N structure, so this 2N plus male gamete ka N makes up 3N. This triploid structure or this 3N structure is going to be called as, or will be eventually developing into, endosperm. Endosperm is the nutritive tissue of the developing embryo. So this endosperm will be your triploid tissue, because every cell of endosperm will be diploid, because it is going to be developed from the triploid endosperm or triploid primary endosperm nucleus, which is abbreviated as TPEN. Okay, so in this way, zygote is already formed in the embryo sac and TPEN is already formed in the embryo sac, right? Now, how the zygote will get converted into an embryo and how this particular TPEN will get converted into the endosperm is something that we have to learn in today's class. Have you all understood? मैंने पूरा मतलब summary करके आपको बता दिया है. Anyone having any doubt still in your mind that how the process is going on? Anyone having any problem, beta? Come on, just quickly understand this. No? All of you all are okay with this? If you all are okay, then that's really great. Then we can go ahead with today's lecture, that what exactly is going to happen with respect to that zygote and with respect to that TPEN. Okay, so let's go ahead with that and let's understand that. Just okay. So yeah, this is what I was trying to tell you all, that now we'll be talking about first the endosperm. Why the endosperm first? Because जब तक खाना नहीं मिलेगा तब तक ग्रो कैसे होगा, है ना? So for the zygote to undergo development, it requires ATP. It requires energy, and energy can only be obtained from food. So first, the food-laden endosperm का initiation start होगा, but eventually both will develop simultaneously. Okay, both will develop simultaneously. Who both? Embryo and the endosperm. Okay, but for our sake of understanding, we can't go both together. We have to first understand each step. So I'm going ahead with endosperm first, followed by embryo. Okay, fine. Can we go ahead? Yes. So this was the last slide that we saw yesterday. That was of double fertilization. And today I go ahead with endosperm. Okay. So, okay. Endosperm is the nutritive tissue for the developing embryo and also the seedling. So see, my dears, if you remember, every time I have told you that you'll have to remember who is nourishing whom. कौन किसका खाना बना रहा है वो आपको अच्छी तरह से पता होना चाहिए, right? So last class, I guess, I had told you all something regarding this, and I hope you all have noted down, right? The who is going to give nourishment to the nucellus, who is going to give nourishment to the uh, developing pollen grains, and who is going to give nourishment to the developing microspore mother cells. So if you do remember all these things, that will be great. Okay. In that same continuation, just remember endosperm is going to provide nourishment with developing embryo. ठीक है बेटा? Fine. Sure. So in angiosperms, the endosperm develops from triploid primary endosperm nucleus, which is TPEN. Anyone having any difficulty in understanding that how it is TPEN? Triploid कैसे है उसको किसी को नहीं समझा है बेटा? Anyone over here? This is most crucial. There are going to be calculations and sums which are associated with it. तो अगर किसी को थोड़ा भी डाउट है तो प्लीज मुझे बोलना कि आपको अगर टीपीएन नहीं समझा है तो हाँ, प्लीज डोंट टेक द थिंग्स फॉर ग्रांटेड, इट्स वेरी क्रूशियल. ओके, सो ये जो टीपीईएन है, इट इज गोइंग टू बी हैविंग योर ट्रिप्लॉइड या 3 सेट्स ऑफ क्रोमोसोम्स. ओके, हाँ, लगा ही था मुझे किसी ने कहा है शायद. I just now gave the entire recap, beta. I just now gave the entire recap. Entirely, I gave about from microsporogenesis to megasporogenesis to zygote. I'm just asking if TPEN is understood or not. It's very simple. There are two haploid nuclei which are going to be there inside the embryo sac, because out of the 8 nuclei that are going to be formed, 3 will move towards the chalazal end to form the antipodals. 3 will move to the micropylar end to form 2 synergids and 1 egg, and 2 will remain suspended at the center. Just now I told you all, as soon as the pollen tube will enter the embryo sac, the synergid would burst first thing that would happen, I told you, was the tube nucleus and the pollen tube and the synergid would burst or get degenerated. Second thing that I told you was these two polar nuclei fuse together to form the secondary nucleus. Now this is 2N structure at the center. Now this 2N and one male gamete, that is N, three nuclei will fuse together. So N of male gamete and 2N of the two polar nuclei, total 3N structure will be formed. This 3N structure will be called as PPPN. Is it fine? Understood? So they have given your same thing. In angiosperm, the endosperm develops from triploid primary endosperm nucleus, which is formed as a result of vegetative fertilization. Why vegetative fertilization? Because it is not going to give rise to a zygote. It is going to give rise to a tissue which is going to be laden with food. So we call it as vegetative. So this fertilization is called as vegetative fertilization, or it's called as triple fusion. Why triple fusion? One polar nuclei, second polar nuclei, and one male gamete. इन तीनों का fusion है. Therefore, it will be called as triple fusion. Okay? Or fusion of male gamete, with secondary nucleus of the cell. Okay? So the male gamete will fuse with the secondary nucleus of the central cell. Fine. So that is going to be something associated with your endosperm formation. Anyone who is still having any doubts? Anyone having any doubts still? No now? Clear about this? Just go to the previous diagram. See. Here you can see that as the polar nuclei is going to enter, as the pollen tube will enter inside, this synergid, which is intact, will burst. So you can see the bursting of the synergid. You can see the two male gametes being discharged. This is one male gamete, this is another male gamete. By the time the male gamete fertilizes these two polar nuclei, which are N and N. Can you see these two? These are the polar nuclei, N and N. These two have come together to form 2N structure, right? Now this 2N structure plus this male gamete ka N. So 1N, 2N, 3N. This will form your TPEN. While this is male gamete which is haploid, that is N. This is the egg which is haploid, which is N, which two will fuse together. Did you all understand now? Have you all followed this? Is there any difficulty? Clear? Okay. So, after understanding that how this triploid endosperm nucleus has been formed, then we come to the three types of endosperms that have been found in nature. The first will be called as nuclear type. The second would be called as cellular type. And the third will be called as हेलोबियल type. तो ये तीनों टाइप ऑफ एंडोस्पर्म जो बनेंगे ना, वो हमें यहाँ पर समझना है. ठीक है? तो ये जो न्यूक्लियस है, ट्रिपल न्यूक्लियस, 3 sets of nucleus है, it will undergo further mitosis to either form nuclear type of endosperm or cellular type of endosperm or halobel type of endosperm. So what is this? What are these three individually is something that we're going to talk about. Okay, so first we'll talk about the nuclear endosperm. In the nuclear endosperm, the primary endosperm nucleus, that is TPEN, divides by repeated mitotic pre-nuclear divisions without the formation of bonds. So again, there would be just the formation of what? The nuclei. So this will be multi-nucleated wala endosperm. Multi-nucleated, matlab kya? It has not got the wall, it is just going to be karyokinesis. साइटोकाइनेसिस वेट होने वाला है इसमें. ठीक है? तो ऐसे वाले को हम कहते हैं न्यूक्लियर. ठीक? So see, It's going to be having repeated mitotic pre-nuclear divisions, means karyokinesis, not immediately followed by cytokinesis. It results in the formation of large number of free nuclei in the central cell of the embryo sac. Now, which is the central cell of the embryo sac, my dears? This is going to be called as the central cell of the embryo sac. Okay, this entire, ये जो embryo sac है ना, ये वाला, ये पूरे को हम कहते हैं central cell of the embryo sac. Okay, और भी है क्या कहते, ये देखो, ये है ना, ये भी, इसको, ये जो ब्लू वाला छोड़ दो, इसके नीचे वाला, इसको हम कहेंगे सेंट्रल सेल ऑफ द एम्ब्रियो साक. These are the two polar nuclei. These are the synergids. This is going to be the egg cell. This is going to be the antipodal. Right? Okay. So ये क्या हो रहा है अभी यहाँ पर, वो सेंट्रल सेल में फ्री न्यूक्लियाई बन के डिस्पर्स हो रहे हैं. ठीक. A big central vacuole develops in the embryo sac, pushing all the nuclei to the peripheral cytoplasm. अब क्या होता है ना बेटा, as the cell will grow in size, there will be formation of a large central vacuole, and this vacuole is going to push all these pre-formed nuclei towards the periphery. Okay, sideways फेंक दिया सबको, right? Finally, as they are going to be pushed towards the periphery, there will be the cell wall formation. See, so finally the cell wall formation takes place from the periphery of the embryo sac towards the center, leading to the formation of cellular endosperm tissue. तो पहले प्री न्यूक्लियर था, उसके बाद क्या हो गया बेटा, उसके ऊपर सेल वॉल आते गए, है ना. तो जैसे ही सेल वॉल आते गए, now that nuclei got trapped. As the nuclei got trapped, now we can call this as cellular endosperm. Okay. जैसे कि कोकोनट होता है ना, अपना कोकोनट, नारियल पानी, जो हमारे घर पे आप लोग नारियल लेके आते हो और उसका पानी रहता है, और वो जो मलाई रहता है, या व्हाट यू कॉल, कोबरा बोलते हैं हम लोग मराठी में, कोबरा, कोबरा, लाइक दैट वे. तो वो जो व्हाइट पार्ट होता है ना बेटा, वो जो व्हाइट पार्ट होता है ना कोकोनट का, ग्रेटेड कोकोनट जो हम कहते हैं, दैट ग्रेटेड कोकोनट इज गोइंग टू बी योर, is going to be your endosperm only. But which type of endosperm? Cellular endosperm. While the coconut water that we drink is going to be your pre-nuclear endosperm. ओके. तो दोनों एंडोस्पर्म ही है. जो हम नारियल पानी पीते हैं ना, वो भी एंडोस्पर्म है, और जो हम मलाई खाते हैं ना, वो भी एंडोस्पर्म है. वो मलाई कैसे बनी बेटा, वो मलाई कैसे बनी, ये जो पानी है, ये एक्चुअली बहुत सारे इन्यूमरस न्यूक्लियाई है फ्री. जैसे ही वो पुश होते जाएंगे टूवर्ड्स द पेरिफेरी, वैसे ही क्या हो जाएगा, उनके ऊपर सेल वॉल आता जाएगा. जैसे ही उनके ऊपर वॉल आएगा, वो मलाई बन जाएगा, वो कोबरा बन जाएगा, वो कोकोनट बन जाएगा. समझ में आ गई बात. सो सो जितना नारियल ज्यादा टाइम के लिए पेड़ पे रहेगा ना, उतना उसका कोबरा थिक होता जाएगा. जितना हम उसको जल्दी निकालेंगे ना, तो क्या हो जाएगा, वो पानी ज्यादा रहेगा. So it depends on when that, coconut has been removed from the plant. If it is removed in its early life, then there is no time given for the cell wall formation. Okay, but if it is left for a longer time on the tree, then there is ample of time for each and every peripheral nuclei to get a wall. तो इसीलिए कभी कभी देखिए, जो बहुत ज्यादा टाइम तक पेड़ पे रहते हैं ना नारियल, उनका है ना, वो थिकनेस ऑफ कोकोनट इज मच मोर रादर देन द अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर. और जो हम नारियल पानी पीने के लिए, जो ग्रीन वाला नारियल, रॉ नारियल जो होता है, वो अगर देखेंगे तो उसमें पानी ज्यादा होता है और कोकोनट बिल्कुल कम होता है. So you understood what we consume of coconut. This I had told you in morphology of flowering plants, that coconut is going to be the seed. We consume the seed of coconut, right? And that seed is going to have embryo and endosperm. So you understood how the endosperm is. So endosperm is going to be liquid endosperm also and solid endosperm also. Liquid endosperm is nariyal pani. Solid endosperm is the coconut. Fine. Understood? Yes. So in coconut, the endosperm is multicellular in the outer part and free nuclear at the center. Nuclear endosperm is most common in majority of polypetales, that is cotton, Ziamase, Capsella. They all will be having these free nuclei wala endosperm. For this, any confusion over here? I'll show the diagram with which you will be able to understand. See this. This is your free nuclear one. So this is going to be your embryo. Blue one is going to be your embryo. The red one is going to be your TPEN. That is your free or triploid primary endosperm nucleus. Now it is undergoing what? It is undergoing mitosis. Look over here. तो एक के दो बन गए, दो के कितने सारे बन गए. अब यहाँ पर साइमल्टेनियसली एम्ब्रियो डेवलपमेंट भी दिखाई दे रहा है बेटा आपको. हाँ, लेकिन मैं फिलहाल एम्ब्रियो का एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं दे रही हूँ, फिलहाल मैं एंडोस्पर्म का एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रही हूँ. तो यू जस्ट हैव टू फोकस ऑन दिस पिंक रीजन. फाइन. नाउ सी, ये जो है these are free nuclei all of them, and because of the formation of this vacuole these nuclei have been pushed towards the periphery. यहाँ पर पेरीफेरी के इधर उसको पुश किया गया. तो पेरीफेरी पे जो पुश हुए ना, they got this wall. They got this wall. That blue color का wall आपको दिखाई दे रहा है अभी, right? So they got this wall. So imagine your coconut. ये है आपका नारियल पानी वाला कंडीशन जिसमें पतला मलाई भी नहीं है. और ये देखिए, ये जो है इसके ऊपर ये पतला मलाई आने को स्टार्ट हो गया. तो अंदर पानी भी है और ये पतला मलाई भी है. If you keep that coconut for a longer time on the tree, then the next set of nuclei will be pushed towards the periphery. Even they will get a wall. Get me? So in this way, the wall formation as and when it increases, the size of the coconut, matlab that white part will increase. Okay? And the water part will become lesser and less. So this is your nuclear or free nuclear type of endosperm. Have you all understood what is free nuclear now? Anyone having any difficulty, beta? Yeah. What's your doubt? In cotton fiber is free. No. Yes, yes. You're perfectly right. You're perfectly right. You're perfectly right. Yes, Himanshi. Perfect. So cotton, Ziamase is your corn. जो मॉल वॉल में मिलते थे ना, अभी वो सारा पास्ट हो गया ना. यू कैन टॉक इट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू मिलते हैं, ये सब था. तो वो बॉइल्ड या स्टीम कॉर्न मिलते थे, है ना. वो उसमें बटर डाल के, चाट मसाला, नींबू डाल के गर्मा गर्म, वो थिएटर में अगर आप कभी मूवीज देखने के लिए जाते थे, यू नो, पास्ट टेंस, तो ये मिलते थे वो वाले कॉर्न. ओके, या मक्का, यस बच्चा. ओके, सो दैट इज दैट कॉर्न. तो वो जूसी होता है कि नहीं? दैट कॉर्न इज जूसी ना. So that juiciness is because, yeah, sweet corn. Yes, Arya, you're right. That sweet corn जो है ना, it's very juicy, it's very sweet, it's very pulpy. What is that? This thing that we eat. That is the endosperm. Okay. Understood what is free nuclear endosperm? Fine. Now, because the diagram is here, I'll explain with the help of diagram and then I'll go to the literature back. What is the second one? Second one is cellular endosperm. So here also you can see this and this is same. TPEN एक अकेला है, लेकिन ये जैसे ही दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड हुआ ना बेटा, ये देखो ये वॉल फॉर्मेशन स्टार्ट हो गया. कैन यू सी दिस वॉल फॉर्मेशन? सो कैरियोकाइनेसिस इमीडिएटली बाय साइटोकाइनेसिस. ये धुआं वाले आए हैं मेरे इधर, स्मोक छोड़ते हैं ना, उसकी आवाज आ रही है. ओके, सो हियर यू कैन सी, आई होप आई एम ऑडिबल. ओके, इट्स डिस्टर्बिंग मी ओनली दैट वॉइस. So here you can see very well that the two nuclei, that is the karyokinesis, has taken place, and immediately after karyokinesis, cytokinesis has taken place, right? So it has divided into two cells and not only two nuclei. Okay. Now these two will further undergo further cell divisions. So normal जो हमने cell division देखा हुआ है mitosis वाला, in our cell cycle cell division वाला chapter में same thing is happening. See, so this is going to be your multicellular. So look at this. This is your multicellular endosperm. Okay. So ये cellular endosperm है, मतलब क्या? Karyokinesis immediately followed by cytokinesis. Karyokinesis immediately followed by cytokinesis. Right? This is your cellular. Halobile is going to be, in our classification pattern, we have got species, genus, family, order, class, division, and kingdom. But we have got intermediate categories also. One of these categories is series. So there are certain, series which are associated with different groups of plants. So this series का नाम है Halobile. And all the plants who belong to the series of Halobile are going to show this type of endosperm formation. Therefore, this endosperm is only called as Halobile type of endosperm. Okay. Now look at it very carefully. There is a small discrepancy, I would say, in your NCERT textbook and your government textbook. थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस है इसमें, ठीक है? तो इसको समझो बेटा, क्या है वो मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगी. हाँ, ये देखो, दिस इज योर PPEN. इट गॉट डिवाइडेड इनटू टू. देखो दो सेल आ गए ना, एक सेल वॉल, जैसे यहाँ पर सेल वॉल आपको दिखाई दे रहा है, वैसे यहाँ पर भी आपको सेल वॉल दिखाई दे रहा है. तो यहाँ पर भी सेल वॉल फॉर्मेशन हो गया है ना. ये जो सेल वॉल फॉर्मेशन हुआ, दैट लेड टू द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ टू सेल, one smaller cell and the other larger cell. Agreed? Agreed? The next division में क्या होता है देखो, the next division में this particular cell is going to form your cell wall. मतलब क्या, this particular area, this small cell will undergo several mitotic divisions, whereas इधर लेट या डिलेड हो जाएगा, मतलब यहाँ पर जो है ना फ्री न्यूक्लियर या न्यूक्लियर टाइप हो जाएगा और यहाँ पर सेल्यूलर टाइप हो जाएगा. समझ में आ रही है बात? समझ में आ रही है? तो ये वाला जोन देखो बेटा, ये वाला जोन इसको रिजेंबल करता है और ये वाला जो जोन है ये इसको रिजेंबल करता है. करेक्ट? So halobile is going to show the formation like your free nuclear division also and your cellular division also, both together. Okay, दोनों दिखाता है वो, दोनों दिखाता है. This type of cell division will be called as halobile type of endosperm. ठीक है. ये जो है ना, ये वाला जो सेल है ना, ये इसको हम कहते हैं हॉस्टोरिया. क्या कहते हैं? हॉस्टोरिया. So Haustoria will undergo continuous cell wall formation, while this region, the upper region, will show free nuclear type of cell division. You got to know the difference between all of them. Fine. So free nuclear में karyokinesis with delayed cytokinesis. Cellular में karyokinesis immediately followed by cytokinesis. And halobile में two-celled formation. The smaller cell will show karyokinesis along with cytokinesis, while the larger area will show delayed cytokinesis. Okay. All your Leguminosae family will belong to your halobile. Okay, I'll come to that. I'll come to that. Got this? Pakka? No confusion? I'll just go to the content. In the cellular type of endosperm development, the first nuclear division of the primary endosperm nucleus is immediately followed by wall formation and is immediately followed by cytokinesis. The first division results in the formation of two equal sized chambers, chalazal and micropylor chambers. The subsequent divisions are followed by regular cell wall formation. This type of endosperm formation is common in Gamopetalae, that is Petunia, Datura. Okay, they are the examples of cellular type of endosperm. So karyokinasis immediately followed by cytokinasis. What is cytokinasis? Cell wall formation. What is karyokinasis? Division of the nucleus. So nucleus division takes place immediately followed by the wall formation. Easy now? No difficulty? Okay? Yeah. Then we go to the next one, that is halobial type, which I explained just now. So in halobial type of endosperm development, the endosperm is intermediate between cellular and nuclear. The division of the primary endosperm nucleus is followed by wall formation, and as a result, two chambers will develop, microphylar and chalaza. Generally, the chalaza does not divide further and functions as hostorium. Okay. Nucleus of the larger microphylar cell divides by repeated pre-nuclear division, and further development takes place in the same way as that of nuclear endosperm. Halobile type of endosperm development is prevalent in monocots like Halobiae series. Okay, so majority of Halobiae series जो है ना वो ये वाला दिखाएगी. You can have your Gramineae family. Okay, Gramineae family will come under this. Fine. So this is how a halobial description is mentioned in your NCRT. Now, the diagram that I have put was for government textbook. So you understood the difference. Your NCRT is saying the hostoria will not divide to form any cellular mass, and your board books say that the hostoria will undergo cell wall formation. ठीक है, तो ये छोटा सा डिस्क्रिपेंसी है बेटा एनसीईआरटी एंड जीटीबी का, तो इसको आपको अच्छी तरह से समझना है. बोर्ड्स में अगर आता है तो आपको ऑस्ट्रोरिया डिवाइड हो रहा है करके लिखना है, और अगर नीट में ये क्वेश्चन आता है तो हॉस्टोरिया फर्दर डिविजन अंडरगो नहीं करता, ऐसा लिखना है. इज इट ओके? हैव यू ऑल अंडरस्टूड दिस पॉइंट? एनीवन हैविंग एनी डिफिकल्टी विद दिस पॉइंट? बोथ द बुक से सेम वन थिंग कॉमन, दो सेल्स बनेंगे, एक के दो सेल्स बनेंगे, माइक्रोपाइलर चेंबर एंड चलाजल चेंबर. योर एनसीईआरटी सेज द चलाजल चेंबर वाला जो हॉस्टोरिया है it will remain like this only and will not undergo further cell division. आपका गवर्नमेंट टेक्स्ट बुक कहता है हॉस्टोरिया में ही सबसे ज्यादा सेल डिविजन होंगे और वो सेल्यूलर टाइप बनेगा. समझा? प्लीज नोट दिस डाउन. Note this down. This is the difference between the description of GTB and NCRT. NCRT वाला statement इधर ही है, ये देखो. Generally, chalazal cell does not divide further and function as hostorium. GTB क्या कहता है? The chalazal cell divides to form the cellular type of hostorium. Note this down, please. Noted? Then, any difficulty in these three types? We have completed with what is going to happen with the endosperm. Anyone having any difficulty with this? No? Diagram samjha? Yeah. Now these are some terms related to endosperm which you should know. We have got ruminate endosperm, that is mature endosperm. Irregularity and unevenness in its surface is called as ruminate endosperm. Ruminate endosperm is caused by the activity of C4 or by the endosperm itself. It is found in about 32 families of angiosperms. No need of remembering the names of the families. तो ruminate में क्या होता है बेटा? Irregular and uneven surface बन जाता है endosperm का. ओके, इसको हम कहते हैं ruminate. ये देखो यहाँ पर you can see, ये देखो ruminate endosperm uneven है, स्मूथ सरफेस नहीं है, अनइवन है ये। Okay, so that is your ruminate endosperm. The second one will be called as your mosaic endosperm. Okay, what do you mean by the word mosaic? Mosaic का मतलब होता है haphazard design, है ना? So in some cases, the tissue of the endosperm is not homogeneous, but there are patches of different colors. Such type of endosperm is called as mosaic endosperm. It was found by Weber in Xiamen. In maize endosperm, red and white patches appear irregularly distributed. तो ये जो तुम लोग कॉर्न खाते हो वो तो ब्यूटीफुल गोल्डन कलर का कॉर्न आपको दिखाई देता है, ये जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइड कॉर्न है बेटा, इट्स अ जीएमओ। तो इसमें आपको वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी, बट यू नो जो ओरिजिनल कॉर्न मिलता है जो वाइट कलर का होता है, इनमें कभी कभी है ना रेडिश स्पॉट्स दिखाई देते हैं, वाइट कलर के पैचेस दिखाई देते हैं, योर मोजाइक एंडोस्पर्म। ओके, so these are the terms associated with endosperm. Yeah, what are you asking beta? What does it form? What does it form? I read your question late probably. Can you just explain this, what you want to ask? What will be formed means endosperm will be formed. Okay. Ultimately, it is going to form the endosperm, that is the nutritive tissue of the embryo. Am I clear or still you have got any doubts? Clear now? Well, in petunia and tomato, endosperm shows two types of tissues. This is also there that in petunia and tomato, endosperm shows two types of tissue. Some consisting of diploid cells and some consisting of triploid cells. These two types of cells intermix to form pattern. So some are triploid, some are diploid, which is an unusual phenomenon seen in tomatoes and petunia. Okay. Third and fourth are the favorite questions of your examiners. These things have been never ever given in your textbooks, and that is the reason every time the examiners will ask you what is Zinnia effect and what is metaxenia effect. So please listen to this very carefully. Zinnia effect is the effect of pollen on the endosperm. So the effect of pollen on the endosperm is called as zinnia. This term was given by a scientist called as Foch, and this was seen in maize again. Okay. Huh, huh. Metaxenia, I'll come to your doubt, beta. Metaxenia, the effect of pollen on somatic tissue lying outside the endosperm is called as metaxenia. Okay. Metaxenia was given by Swingle and it is seen in date palm. Now, please understand this thing very, very clearly. Pollen grain का जो जेनेटिक मेकअप है, पोलन ग्रेन का जो जेनेटिक मेकअप है, उसका इफेक्ट अगर एंडोस्पर्म पे दिखता है, तो अगर एंडोस्पर्म पे येलो कलर, रेड कलर, ऐसा कुछ एंडोस्पर्म का कलर अलग दिखता है, तो उस इफेक्ट को हम कहते हैं जीनिया इफेक्ट. ओके. ऑन द अदर हैंड, पोलन ग्रेन का अगर पोलन ग्रेन का अगर न्यूसेलस के ऊपर, न्यूसेलस है ना, न्यूसेलर सेल्स के ऊपर अगर कुछ कलर डिफरेंस दिखता है या अलग टाइप ऑफ कलर्स दिखते हैं, तो उसको हम कहते हैं मेटाजीनिया इफेक्ट. डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड? सो जीनिया इफेक्ट एंड मेटाजीनिया इफेक्ट. जीनिया, पोलन on endosperm. Metaxenia, pollen on the somatic cell or the somatic tissue. Regularly asked, regularly. Fine. So this is all with your endosperm that you should know. Anyone having any doubt with xenia, metaxenia? By the time I'll come to your doubt, yeah. If it comes in MHTCT, then yeah. If it comes in MHTCT, then you will be writing MH CET का पेपर अगर तुम दे रहे हो या MHCET जो हम कह रहे हैं उसका अगर पेपर दे रहे हो तो आपको गवर्नमेंट टेक्स्ट बुक फॉलो करना है। बट अगर आप नीट दे रहे हो तो आपको NCERT कंटेंट फॉलो करना है। और ये देखा गया है कि ये जो होते हैं ना, ये एग्जामिनर जो होते हैं ना, वो डेलिबरेटली ऐसे वाले क्वेश्चंस डालते हैं आपके एग्जाम में ताकि आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओ और आप लोग रॉन्ग मार्क करके आ जाओ। सो मैं क्लियरली बोल रही हूँ कि इफ दिस क्वेश्चन कम्स इन योर NCERT देन यू हैव टू राइट अबाउट द हेलो बायल सीरीज that is going to be Hello Bail series, that is going to be having your Astoria का डिफरेंस जो मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी बताया हुआ है। ठीक है, गॉट इट? ओके, Xenia, Metaxenia, any doubts to anybody? Can I go ahead? That's all with your endoscope. So what are the three types of endosperm? Nuclear type, cellular type, halobile type. Nuclear type में karyokinesis with delayed cytokinesis. Cellular में karyokinesis with immediate cytokinesis. And halobile में first karyokinesis immediately followed by cytokinesis and later only karyokinesis with delayed cytokinesis. Okay, so it's a mixture of both. I hope you all have understood endosperm very nicely. Okay, now 1 minute, I'll just some disturbance that was coming. Okay. So embryo development dekhte beta. Now my a request to all of you all here, if you don't follow anything, you are going to ask me 1,000 times because maximum marks are lost in this section of this chapter. It is not difficult to understand. It is very easy, but you might have several doubts or you might not understand the things very clearly at first go. So if you have got anything like that way, please feel free to stop me whatever number of times and ask me. I want all of you all to be very well versed with this embryo development wala part. Pay attention. Pay attention. Again, I'm saying, सबका गुड मॉर्निंग हो गया है, पानी वानी पीना है तो पानी वानी पी के आ जाओ, हाँ? But I want all of you all to have a very fresh mind and the capacity to understand whatever I am going to talk right now. ठीक है? Okay. So we understood embryo sac के अंदर एंडोस्पर्म डेवलपमेंट कैसे हुआ ये हमने देख लिया है अभी, ठीक है? Simultaneously, I told you there is embryo formation that is taking place or embryo development that is taking place. So how this embryo development takes place is something that I'm going to ask you right now. Yeah, beta, please go ahead. Komal, yes, you can go ahead. Yeah. So here I'm going to talk about the embryo formation. Fine. Again, I'm repeating. Before the embryo formation, I start with embryo formation. Have you all technically followed the double fertilization wala event? Have you all followed double fertilization event? Because without which ये कुछ नहीं समझेगा, इसलिए वापस एक बार मैं पूछ रही हूँ. All good. So now understand. The zygote forms a wall around it and is converted into oospore. So जैसे ही zygote बन जाएगा, it will immediately form a wall around it. And now this zygote would be called as what? Oospore. You understood what is oospore? So zygote directly is not an oospore. Zygote along with a wall around it will be called as oospore. First point. Okay? See, the oospore divides transversely to form a large basal cell or a suspensor cell which lies towards the micropylar end. अब गड़बड़ किधर होती है बताऊं मैं आपको? गड़बड़ किधर होती है? आप अब तक जो भी डायग्राम्स देख के आ रहे हो ना, जितने भी डायग्राम्स अभी मैंने आपको दिखाए हैं ना, इट इज योर एनाट्रोपस ओव्यूल। आई हैड ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड व्हाट इज एनाट्रोपस ओव्यूल, है ना। एनाट्रोपस मींस 180 डिग्री टर्न, उल्टा, करेक्ट। तो ये जो एनाट्रोपस ओव्यूल है उसका माइक्रोपाइल इधर है, ऑर्थोट्रोपस ओव्यूल का माइक्रोपाइल इधर है, करेक्ट ना। यू ऑल रिमेंबर ऑर्थोट्रोपस, हेमिएनाट्रोपस, एनाट्रोपस, कंपाइलोट्रोपस, सिर्सिनोट्रोपस, करेक्ट। तो एनाट्रोपस कैसा था, 180 डिग्री टर्न था, उल्टा था। तो 180 डिग्री टर्न के वजह से इट्स माइक्रोपाइल वाज लाइंग लाइक एट द दिस एंड डाउनवर्ड्स, बट but in large capital letters, bold, जो करना है कर लो, but your each and every book, each and every reference book, each and every textbook, each and every content that you want to read for embryo development has explained embryo development as orthotropous condition. Orthotropous condition मतलब क्या, माइक्रोपाइल एट दी एपेक्स वाला कंडीशन एक्सप्लेन किया है। तो हमारे दिमाग में माइक्रोपाइल जो बेस पे है वो टेक्निकली एम्ब्रियो डेवलपमेंट के टाइम पे माइक्रोपाइल कहाँ आ जाएगा बच्चा, ऊपर आ जाएगा। तो अभी जितना भी मैं एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रही हूँ एम्ब्रियो के, इट इज कंप्लीटली गोइंग टू बी और सीधा वाला कंडीशन, उल्टा वाला कंडीशन नहीं है। ओके तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट आपको क्या याद रखना है कि अब से जो भी मैं डिस्कशन करूंगी इट विल बी विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू माइक्रोपाइलर एंड एंड चलाजर एंड, उल्टा पुल्टा छोड़ दो, ठीक है। तो ये जो माइक्रोपाइलर एंड एनाट्रोपस का बोला था वो ऑर्थोट्रोपस के हिसाब से अब मैं एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रही हूँ। मैं दे रही हूँ क्योंकि तुम्हारे बुक्स ने दिया है, तो मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उसको ऑर्थोट्रोपस कंडीशन में एक्सप्लेन करना, right? Got it? So let us understand this now. Okay. The oospore. I told you what is oospore. Zygote with a wall around it. The oospore divides transversely, transverse section, cross section, to form larger basal cell. अब नाम देखो कंफ्यूजन वाले, नाम देखो कंफ्यूजन वाले, लार्जर बेसल बोल रहे हम लोग, larger basal cell or suspensor cell which lies towards the micropylar end. Okay, okay, and the other small apical cell or the embryonal cell will lie towards the interior of the embryo sac facing the chalazal cell. तो हमारे एनाट्रोपस ओव्यूल के हिसाब से माइक्रोपाइलर की तरफ है वो बेसल सेल है, बराबर, और चलाजल की तरफ है वो अपाइकल सेल। लेकिन ये एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑर्थोट्रोपस के हिसाब से है। तो सस्पेंसर कहाँ चला गया बेटा आपका, या बेसल सेल कहाँ चली गई, ऊपर चली गई, और जो आपका चलाजल है ना वो नीचे की तरफ आया, तो अपाइकल सेल नीचे आ गई। अब इधर सबसे फर्स्ट कंफ्यूजन, हमारे दिमाग में बेसल मतलब नीचे, अपाइकल मतलब ऊपर, हाँ या ना, हमारे दिमाग में, करेक्ट। लेकिन for this particular discussion apical will be at the micropylar end, ऐसा हमें लग रहा है, जो गलत है। अपाइकल कहाँ है बेटा, चलाजल एंड की तरफ है। ओके, यस यस यू आर राइट, या वेरी राइट। ओके सो ये एग्जैक्टली टर्म्स है ना, उल्टे दिखते हैं यहाँ पर, ठीक है। So from this two-celled stage until the formation of the organ, the embryo is going to be called as pro-embryo. ठीक है, फाइन। तो अब हम इस जाइगोट को पहले जाइगोट बोल रहे थे, then we started calling it as oospore. Now that oospore will be called as what? Pro-embryo. Is it okay? Have you all followed perfectly? No confusion over here? Okay, fine. So what will be the fate of सेल, इसीलिए मैंने इंटू ब्रैकेट माइक्रोपाइलर एंड डाला हुआ है, ये ना डिस्क्रिप्शन आपके बुक्स में ना अच्छी तरह से नहीं दिया है बेटा. They have actually confused you a lot if you read the textual language. इतना गड़बड़ लगता है ना, पूरा बाउंसर चला जाता है. तो इसलिए टू मेक द थिंग्स वेरी सिंपल एंड वेरी इजी, इधर मैंने इंटू ब्रैकेट माइक्रोपाइलर एंड लिखा. So you will come to know that the basal cell is going to be at the micropilar end. Okay. So what will happen with the micropilar end cell and what will happen at the chalazal end cell? वो दोनों अभी हमें आगे देखना है. So the basal cell divides transversely to form a row of cells called as suspensor cell. तो ये दो सेल बने थे, एक के दो सेल बने थे ना बेटा. ये दो सेल में से जो बेसल सेल है ना, it will further divide to form around 8 to 10 cells. तो दो में से एक सेल जो है that will further divide to form 8 to 10 cells in a linear form. ऐसा एक टॉल टॉवर बनाएगा, ऐसा एक टॉल टॉवर बनाएगा. ये टॉवर को हम क्या कहते हैं? ये टॉवर को हम कहते हैं सस्पेंसर. क्या कहते हैं हम इसको? सस्पेंसर. ठीक है, समझ में आ गई बात? ओके, या. सो द बेसल सेल divides transversely to form a row of cells called as suspensor. It is 6 to 10 cells linear in order, एक के ऊपर एक टॉवर के जैसा. ठीक है. The uppermost cell of the suspensor is vesicular cell and the lowest cell will be called as hypophysis, which gives rise to the radical and the root cap. आप देखो हाँ बच्चा, ये बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझना. हाँ, ये सस्पेंसर का जो एंड है, लोवेस्ट जो सेल है, इट इज गोइंग टू गिव राइज टू whom? रेडिकल एंड रूट कैप, जिसको हम क्या कहते हैं? हाइपोफाइसिस. क्या कहते हैं? हाइपोफाइसिस. द सस्पेंसर pushes the developing embryo deeper into the endosperm for its proper nutrition. So what is the role of the suspensor? You know, to push the embryo towards the endosperm. Endosperm के करीब जाने को हेल्प करता है. क्यों? क्योंकि एंडोस्पर्म उसका खाना है. किसका? एम्ब्रियो का. तो एम्ब्रियो को एंडोस्पर्म के पास पुश करने का काम जो करता है वो है सस्पेंसर सेल. Did you understand? One more time. One more time. I'll explain with the help of the diagram so you will understand it better. ये देखो बेटा. This is the best diagram. This is the zygote which got a covering over it, which will be now called as oospore. This oospore will divide into two cells, the terminal cell and the basal cell. Okay. Now, this forget about these two. इनको फिलहाल के लिए सेल एम्ब्रियो को फिलहाल के लिए आप भूल जाइएगा. वो अपाइकल सेल का फेट है, ये बेसल सेल का है. तो देखो, ये जो एक बेसल सेल है ना, it got divided into two suspensor cells. They further got divided into 6 to 8 suspensor cells. ये देखो, और ये जो अपर मोस्ट सेल है, जैसे मैंने बोला अपर मोस्ट एंड लोअर मोस्ट भी इसका उल्टा होता है. तो इसका जो अपर मोस्ट सेल है दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एज दी हॉस्टोरिया, एंड ये जो लोएस्ट है दिस विल बी कॉल्ड एज दी हाइपोफाइसिस. सो दिस हाइपोफाइसिस will give rise to the radical and the root cap. Did you understand? समझ में आ गया? तो फिलहाल सिर्फ ये सस्पेंसर की तरफ ध्यान दे दो, इसके तरफ ध्यान मत दो, इसके तरफ मैं बाद में आऊंगी. So the zygote got divided into two cells, the apical cell and the basal cell. The basal cell further divided to form 6 to 10 linear cells, which are going to be called as suspensor. The uppermost cell will be called as the haustoria, and the lowest cell will be called as hypophysis. This hypophysis is the one which is going to give rise to the radical and the root caps. Any difficulty, any doubt in understanding this part? Don't look at this position. Dark green color देखो मत. डार्क ग्रीन कलर को फिलहाल मत देखो बेटा. ओके. Yes, you are right बेटा. Yes, Prachi, you are right, my dear. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Got it? All of you? So now again I'm going to the slide. The basal cell divides transversely to form two row of cells called as a row of cells called as suspensor. There are 6 to 10 cells linear. The uppermost of the suspensor cell is haustoria, which is called as vesicular cell, and the lowest is called as hypophysis, from where radicle and root cap will develop. The suspensor pushes the developing embryo deeper into the endosperm for proper nourishment. Clear? Sure? आगे जाऊं? अपाइकल सेल का क्या हो रहा है देखेंगे. चलिए. Yeah. Fate of apical cell, which is going to be at the chalazal end. Apical cell is going to be at the chalazal end. The apical cell undergoes one transverse and two vertical divisions that right angles to each other to form an octime stage. Now, ये जो language है ना, इसको समझो बच्चा. It undergoes one transverse and two vertical divisions. One transverse and two vertical. इसको हम देखते हैं कैसे होता है. ठीक है. Forget about this language. लैंग्वेज को अपने को कुछ लेना देना है नहीं. जो मैं बता रही हूँ उसको बस इमेजिन कर लो. ठीक है. यू नो एन एप्पल. एप्पल है. हाँ. इमेजिन यू हैव टू कट एन एप्पल. तो अब एप्पल को मैं जैसे बोल रही हूँ वैसे आप कट करोगे, ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल. ठीक है. सच में जाके एप्पल मत लेके आना, मैं बस बता रही हूँ आपको कि कैसे इमेजिन करना है इसको. सो व्हेन यू टेक एन एप्पल, फर्स्ट आई वांट टू कट दैट एप्पल इनटू फर्स्ट ट्रांसवर्स सेक्शन. मतलब 2 रिंग्स बनेंगी. ऐसे कट करोगे आप एप्पल को, ऐसे आड़ा, तो 2 पार्ट्स बन गए. ठीक है. अगेन जॉइन इट टुगेदर. देन यू गिव वन वर्टिकल कट. तो कैसे दिखेगा अब ये? 4 पीसेस दिखेंगे. करेक्ट ना? पहले आपने 1 कट दिया तो 2 पीस बन गए. अब ये 2 पीस को लगाकर आपने और एक सेंट्रल कट लीनियर दिया या लॉन्जिट्यूडनल दिया, तो कैसे बनेगा बेटा? 4 पीस बन जाएंगे. इधर तक समझा? Then again join those together. Join means keep them together and give again one more vertical cut at right angle to the first. मतलब आपने पहले ऐसे काटा. ठीक है. बाद में आपने उसको ऐसे काटा है, ऐसे. राइट. अब आप उसको ऐसे काटोगे, ऊपर से नीचे ही, लेकिन पहले ऐसे था, अब ऐसे, at right angle to each other. Yes, yes, correct. So in this way, if you cut it, how many pieces you would get now? Can you all tell me? कितने पीस मिलेंगे आपको उस एप्पल के? 3 कट्स के बाद आपको कितने पीस मिलेंगे बेटा? वेरी गुड सिया. यस प्राची. नहीं, not 6, not 6, not 6, not 6. Yes Ansh, you're right बेटा, you're right. 9, not 5. नहीं समझा. आपने ऑलरेडी एक कट दिया है तो 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड हो चुका है. करेक्ट. देन यू गिव वन मोर कट, तो आपको 4 पीस बराबर है. अब आप और एक लॉन्जिट्यूडनल कट दे रहे हो ना बेटा. आप और एक लॉन्जिट्यूडनल कट दे रहे हो ना, पूरा कट, तो कितने पीस मिलेंगे आपको? नींबू को कट करके देखो. कट लेमन, पहले हाफ में कट किया, फिर आपने सीधा कट किया तो 4 पीस बन जाएंगे. वो 4 पीस ज्वाइन करके और एक अगर ट्रांसफर्स कट दोगे तो कितने मिलेंगे? वेरी गुड मनन, यू आर राइट. नॉट अ क्वेश्चन मार्क बेटा, यू हैव गिवन द राइट आंसर. How many? How many? How many? Come on, all of you all. Yes, Sia is right. Sneha Sharma. No, 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 no. Not 4. Sara, you're right. Sara, you're right. Try to do this. Take a paper and try to do this. पेपर लेके फाड़ के दिखाओ मुझे. एक पेपर लेना और उसको फाड़ के दिखाना. No, it's not 6. Mukta, you're right. Mukta, you're right. Come on, others. Yes, Himanshu, you're right, beta. You're perfectly right. Yes, Komal, you're right. Come on, others. Try. 5, 6 is wrong. Ah, Prachi, very good. Sonali, you got disconnected. Don't worry. I was just saying, take an apple, cut it transversely into two parts. Okay. Then again, keep them together. Cut one more in a longitudinal fashion or vertical fashion. Okay. Right. Then again, join the four pieces together and give one more cut in right angle direction. मतलब बीच में से ही जाएगा आपका. Nice है ना? It will go perfectly from the center only. So how many pieces at the end would you get? Yes, Snehasi, you're right. You have to cut it twice. So now you have to cut it 3 times, in fact. 1, 2, 3. Yes, David James, you're right, beta. Perfectly right. So all those who have given me answer as 8 are correct. So you're going to get 8 pieces out of it. So this is how is the fate of the apical cell. The apical cell will first undergo a transverse cut cells. Then it will undergo one vertical cut to give 4 cells. And then the third vertical cut at right angle to each other to form 8 cells, which is called as your octant stage. ओके तो ये लैंग्वेज समझना थोड़ा मुश्किल है इसलिए मैंने आपको एप्पल का एग्जांपल दिया आपके पास जो भी कुछ है अभी अवेलेबल घर पे लेक्चर के बाद इसको कट करके देखो और मुझे नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में बताओ कि जेन्युइनली आपको कितने पीसेस मिले ओके so technically you should get 8 हाँ third cut the set 2 out of 4 are being divided into 4 yes my dear Prachi perfect you're perfectly right okay so in this way we get 8 pieces this particular 8 का जो group of cells है that would be called as your octant state ठीक है समझ में आ गई बात they further divide to form multicellular spherical mass of cells which now would be called as your globular embryo generally gradually this mass of cell becomes heart shaped structure and then horseshoe shaped structure which is called as your torpedo shape eventually and finally gets differentiated to form an embryonal axis with plumule radicle and the two cotyledons okay let me explain this with the help of your diagram here you can see this now very clearly my dears so yeah this is going to be the terminal cell or the apical cell as we call first cut will make 2 cells second cut will form the 4 cells and third cut will form the 8 cells ओके तो ये 4 आगे है वैसे ही 4 पीछे है तुम लोग को सिर्फ ये 4 दिखाई दे रहे हैं ये 4 नहीं दिखाई दे रहे ओके सो ये ऑक्टांट स्टेट है ऐसे देखेंगे तो ऑक्टांट है आपको ये ऐसा 2 डायमेंशनल फिगर दिखाई दे रहा है सो यू कैन ओनली सी द 4 यू कैन नॉट सी दीज 4 जो पीछे की तरफ है फाइन so this will be called as your octant state octant state will then form your globular state ये देखो globular means round globose globular stage which will then form this heart stage okay and this heart stage will then give rise to horseshoe stage ये horseshoe stage है and finally two cotyledons will be formed clearly fine अब ये देखो इधर उन्होंने हाइपोफाइसिस दिया हुआ है कैन यू सी दिस वर्ड हाइपोफाइसिस कलर कौन सा है बेटा हाइपोफाइसिस का लाइट येलो कलर है विच इज द लास्ट सेल और द लोवेस्ट सेल ऑफ द सस्पेंसर correct so this is the lowest cell of the suspensor that is going to be giving rise to your radical and root cap very good yes yeah you're right beta so this is going to be your hypophysis fine and ये जो है ये जो apical cell था अपना that has finally given rise to these two cotyledons so ये dicot का seed का embryo कैसे develop होता है वो हमने देखा is it clear apical cell, basal cell, suspensor cell, hypophysis, octant stage, globular stage, heart shape, horseshoe shape. Anything not understood? Anything that you have got a doubt? Please clear your doubts. Come on. ये डाइकॉट सीड के बारे में है. Anyone? नहीं, सब समझा? वेरी गुड। ये देखो बेटा, ये वाले डायग्राम में यू कैन सी ये जो हाइपोफाइसिस है इट इज गिविंग राइज टू रूट मेरिस्टेम, और ये यहाँ पर दिख रहा है, यहाँ पर दिख रहा है टोरपेडो इज horseshoe. Yes my dear, the other name of torpedo stage is horseshoe. ये वाला पॉइंट दिख रहा है बेटा यहाँ पर दो कॉटिलेडॉन्स का सेंटर, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द शूट मेरिस्टेम, करेक्ट। और ये शूट मेरिस्टेम टू रूट मेरिस्टेम, ये जो एरिया दिख रहा है आपको, रूट मेरिस्टेम टू शूट मेरिस्टेम, ये जो एरिया है ना, इट इज गोइंग टू बी कॉल्ड एज योर एम्ब्रियोनल एक्सिस, या फिर इसको हम कहते हैं टाइजेलम, अगर याद है तो। ये जो पॉइंट है जहां पर उन्होंने शूट अपाइकल मेरिस्टेम वाला दिखाया है, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी कॉल्ड एज द कॉटिलिडनरी नोड, and if you remember the region below the cotyledonary node will be called as hypocotyle, and the region from the cotyledonary node up to the plumule will be called as your epicotyle. अब कुछ कोरिलेट हो रहा है मॉर्फोलॉजी वाला पार्ट और ये वाला पार्ट? कैन यू कोरिलेट द थिंग्स नाउ? यस, एग्जैक्टली। Okay. Now, what is the function of this suspensor, as they said, is to push this apical cell towards the endosperm. तो उसको एंडोस्पर्म की तरफ पुश करने का काम कौन कर रहा है बेटा? सस्पेंसर कर रहा है, ठीक है। गॉट दिस वेरी क्लियरली? वेरी गुड। So that's about your dicot seed development. Now we go to monocot seed development, which is all the more easier actually. अगर डाइकॉट समझा है तो मोनोकॉट समझने में टाइम नहीं लगेगा। डाइकॉट पक्का समझाना बेटा सबको? Okay. Embryo development in monocots. There is only one terminal cotyledon which is going to be called as the scutellum, which is your shield shaped structure. Zia maize में हमने morphology में scutellum देखा था, right? In grasses, the second cotyledon is also going to be present, but it is highly reduced and it is called as epiblast. Again, my dears, not given in books and favorite question of your examiners. Epiblast, ठीक है? So epiblast is the second cotyledon which is reduced in case of grasses. Okay, grasses में epiblast दिखता है, ठीक है? The zygote divides into basal cell and terminal cell or apical cell. Now, यहाँ पर उन्होंने CB and CA ऐसा कुछ दिया हुआ है, इसको हमें क्यों समझना है CBCA को? क्योंकि आपके डायग्राम में CBCA के हिसाब से एक्सप्लेनेशन है, फाइन। सो रिमेंबर, B stands for basal, A stands for apical. तो ये basal cell और ये apical cell, so CBCA. Okay, the basal cell divides by a transverse wall into two cells, that is CI and M. Okay, so यहाँ पर जो basal cell है ना, it will not form that long 6 to 10 cell suspensor, नहीं बनाएगा। क्या बनाएगा? 2 सेल स्ट्रक्चर बनाएगा। तो basal cell, instead of dividing into 6 to 10 cell long suspensor, it will only form 2 cells. इधर तक समझा? So the zygote will get a covering called as oospore. The oospore will divide into 2 cells, that is basal and apical. Basal, which lies towards the micropylar end, will undergo one more cell division, only one, to form 2 cells, that is CI and M. ठीक है? Okay. The CI cell divides once again to form N and N dash. Okay. Of the N dash is going to be the outermost, which develops into the suspensor, which is one celled structure. तो वहां पर जो सस्पेंसर है वो 6 to 10 सेल स्ट्रक्चर है। मोनोकॉट्स में सस्पेंसर सिंगल सेल स्ट्रक्चर है, ओनली वन सेल स्ट्रक्चर। ओके, while the N forms the parts of the root cap. मतलब जो हाइपोफाइसिस था ना उधर का, लोवेस्ट सेल वाज हाइपोफाइसिस, तो इधर N dash is going to form single celled suspensor, and N, a single cell, will develop into root cap, while the M contributes to the remaining part of the root cap and the part of radical. तो N and M, तो जो M है ना, M, ये देखो CI and M, तो ये जो M है ना बेटा, that M will form the radical. So root cap by N and radical by M. Okay, okay. One more time I'm telling you, हाँ, please pay attention. मैं तुम्हें डायग्राम के हिसाब से बताती हूँ तो और इजी हो जाएगा तुम्हें समझना. Here, CB and CA, correct? CB divided into CI and M, ये दो सेल. CA के इधर फिलहाल आप ध्यान नहीं देना, हाँ. Don't look at CA right now. Just look at CB. So basal cell divides into two cells, that is CI and M. Correct? Now if you see, CI has divided into N dash and N. Correct? Correct? तो ये जो N dash है ना, ये जो N dash, इधर dash clearly दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है तुम्हें. Anyway, so ये जो N dash है ना, ये single celled suspensor रहेगा, और ये जो N है ना, N, it will give rise to the root cap. Okay? While M जो है, ये देखो, ये जो M है, it is also dividing to give rise to radical. समझा? Understood? So if you look over here, this is going to be your N dash, which is your single cell suspensor. ये जो है, ये N है, which is going to give rise to your radical, sorry, root cap. और ये जो M है, it is going to give rise to your radical. समझ में आ गई बात? ओके, शेप देखो चेंज होते जा रहे हैं. ये एन डैश सस्पेंसर, एन रूट कैप, एम radical. Okay, got it now? Clear? So that's with your CB, basal cell. Now what happens with your terminal cell or the apical cell? The terminal cell divides by two vertical walls at right angles to one another. This results in the formation of quadrant stage, not an octant stage. एक कट, चार सेल्स. तो जैसे आप जनरली एप्पल को नॉर्मली काटोगे, एक और दो, तो चार पीसेस में डिवाइड होगा ना अपना एप्पल. अगर ट्रांसफर किया है तो चार सेल ऊपर, चार सेल नीचे, 8 बन जाएंगे. ऑक्टांट एंड डाइकॉट. मोनोकॉट में क्वाड्रांट स्टेट आता है. ठीक है, ट्रांसफर सेक्शन नहीं होता है. Cells of quadrant divide periclinally, differentiating into peripheral cells and inner group of cells. The repeated divisions in both peripheral and central group of cells results in the formation of two regions, 1 and 1 dash. Produces lower part of the cotyledon, while the upper part of the cotyledon, hypocotyle and plumule are formed by 1 dash. So it will form, a globular type only, but instead of forming a heart-shaped structure, it does not purely make an heart-shaped structure, but it makes a somewhat inward rolling and again coming out, as you can see in this particular diagram. ये देखो बेटा, ये CA है, it got divided into 4 pieces, longitudinal only, transverse cut नहीं है, तो आपको 2 दिखाई दे रहे, 2 पीछे के नहीं दिखाई दे रहे. Okay, you can only see the 2. This is going to be your quadrant state. This quadrant will then further divide to form your globular. ये देखो, ये heart shape नहीं बना, ये inward कट गया लेकिन heart shape नहीं बना. To then form something like this. Okay, and finally your monocot का जो seed है is going to form something like this. Yes, my dear. Yes, yes, you're right. You're right, Sia, you're right. So here you can see this is your going to be your coleoptile, shoot apex, epiblast in grasses. This is going to be your radical, root cap, coleorhiza. So coleoptile, coleorhiza you have seen in your maize plant also, maize ka seed also. Fine, got this. So this is your dicot का seed development and monocot का seed development, जिसमें endosperm development and embryo development simultaneously हो रहा है. ओके, तो कैसे दोनों में क्या हो रहा है वो समझ में आ गया? श्योर बेटा, नो प्रॉब्लम. एनीवन हैविंग एनी डिफिकल्टी? कोई ना डिफिकल्टी नहीं पूछ रहा है, इधर सब कुछ समझ रहा है या कुछ भी नहीं समझ रहा है, क्या हो क्या रहा है भाई? हाँ, सब कुछ समझ रहा है ये वाला? आपके पास ऑलरेडी पीपीटी है, प्लीज इसके लेक्चर के बाद गो थ्रू करना। ओके, सो ये हमारा एम्ब्रियो फॉर्मेशन कंप्लीट हो जाता है। कौन सा DEF बेटा? DEF, DEF है ही नहीं। अच्छा इधर का, दिस वन, ओके ओके, not that, this is simple, this is going to be how the development is going to be progressing ahead, है ना? So see, this is going to be your n dash, which is going to be single suspensor cell, which is this your n dash, a single suspensor cell. ओके, ये देखो, ये सिंगल सस्पेंसर सेल n dash, n जो है ना, it will give rise to what, n will give rise to what, root cap. तो ये n है, this will give rise to your root cap. ये n है, it is going to give rise to your root cap. m is going to give rise to radical, m is going to give rise to radical, m is going to give rise to radical. ओके, ये अपने अपाइकल सेल, अपना बेसल सेल का हो गया। अपाइकल सेल में क्या हुआ बेटा, one single cell got divided into two into four, so this is a quartan stage. Now q is going to be the quartan stage. Okay, q will further give rise to a group of cells which will be peripheral and central. Peripheral will be 1 dash, central will be 1. तो ये जो है, ये 1 dash है और ये 1 है। ओके, सो 1 dash लोअर एंड ऑफ द कॉटिलेडॉन को बनाएगा, और ये जो 1 है वो अपर एंड ऑफ द कॉटिलेडॉन का बनाएगा। दैट्स इट। सो यू कैन सी दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द अपर एंड, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द लोअर एंड, 1 dash 1। एंड इन दिस वे अल्टीमेटली ये जो स्ट्रक्चर आपको दिखाई दे रहा है ना, दिस स्ट्रक्चर विल बी फॉर्म। यू कैन सी दिस स्ट्रक्चर विल बी फॉर्म। सो दिस इज radical, root cap, coleorhiza. So root cap का जो formation है, it is the result of your which cell? root cap को किसने जन्म दिया, कौन से सेल ने जन्म दिया? ABCD वाला कौन सा है वो? मतलब N, N dash, M, CI क्या है? What is it? Who gave rise to this root cap? Very good. Who gave rise to this radical? Very good. Okay. So in this way है ना बेटा, ये पूरा कॉटिलेडॉन मोनोकॉट का डेवलपमेंट होता है। दिस इज एम्ब्रियो ऑफ अ ग्रास। ग्रास है इसीलिए एपिब्लास्ट दिखाया है, अगर मेज होता तो एपिब्लास्ट नहीं दिखाते। ठीक है, नाउ गॉट इट बेटा, नाउ अंडरस्टूड। नाउ व्हाट इज द मेजर डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टू? Dicot is going to have a long suspensor. So the embryo is capable of reaching the endosperm and eating the endosperm completely. And therefore, majority of the dicot seeds are going to be exalbuminous, non-endospermic. Here in monocots, this suspensor is a single cell structure. ये N dash अकेला है जो suspensor है, वो कितना पुश कर पाएगा उस एम्ब्रियो को? तो खाना है, एंडोस्पर्म है, लेकिन एंडोस्पर्म तक पहुंचाने वाला जो सस्पेंसर है वही छोटू है, वही नहीं पहुंचा सकता है उस एम्ब्रियो को टुवर्ड्स द एंडोस्पर्म। इसीलिए मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द मोनोकॉट्स are going to remain endospermic, albuminous type of the seeds. So I hope you all remember in monocots we have seen this. Majority of the dicots are X-albuminous, non-endospermic, and majority of the monocots are albuminous and endospermic. Now you got to understand the reason why. उधर तक पहुंचाने के लिए सस्पेंसर लंबा होता ही नहीं है मोनोकॉट्स में, तो वो कैसे जाएगा बेचारा? It's not capable of reaching the endosperm, and therefore the endosperm remains intact in monocots. Okay, clear? Same thing they have shown simultaneously. This is a simultaneous development that they are showing over here. This is going to be that light is going to be your light green is going to be your this thing, endosperm, and this purple green color is going to be your uh, embryo. Okay, so this is your dicot. So ये देखो, ये सस्पेंसर लंबा चौड़ा बना, इसलिए एंडोस्पर्म के करीब ये एम्ब्रियो पहुंच पा रहा है ना, करेक्ट। इधर देखो, साइमल्टेनियस एंडोस्पर्म भी बढ़ रहा है और ये देखो ग्लोबुलर एम्ब्रियो भी इधर तक पहुंचा जा रहा है। लुक एट दिस, ये और एंडोस्पर्म डेंस बना, लुक एट द डेंसिटी ऑफ द एंडोस्पर्म, और थिक बना, एंड लुक एट द शेप ऑफ द एम्ब्रियो, ये कैसे बना, हार्ट शेप बना, करेक्ट। नाउ हार्ट शेप होने के बाद ये अपना टॉर्पेडो शेप या हॉर्सशू शेप वाला बन गया, बट लुक एट द अमाउंट ऑफ एंडोस्पर्म नाउ, पूरा खा लिया, किसने खाया, ये डेवलपिंग हार्ट शेप एम्ब्रियो ने ये सारा एंडोस्पर्म खा लिया और ये दो कॉटिलेडॉन्स में डेवलप हो गया। कैन यू सी हाउ दे हैव शोन वेरी नाइसली? सो लुक एट दिस, these are the two cotyledons, correct? These are the two cotyledons, 1 and 2, ये जो 5 नंबर दिखाया है ना, these are the two cotyledons, and look at the amount of endosperm, almost negligible, पूरा ही कंज्यूम कर लिया है। So this is the way endosperm and embryo development takes place simultaneously, which can be very clearly seen from this diagram. Anyone who has not followed this diagram, this is for dicot. This is for dicot. For monocot, what would happen, beta? For monocot, this is going to be a single suspensor cell. एक ही suspensor cell इधर के इधर रहेगा. तो एंडोस्पर्म है, लेकिन वो एंडोस्पर्म तक ये ज्यादा पहुंच नहीं सकता है ना, बिकॉज ये सस्पेंसर ही नहीं डेवलप हो रहा है। ये देखो, जैसे सस्पेंसर लंबा होता गया ना, वैसे उसको किधर से किधर तक लेके गया। देखो, लुक एट दिस फिगर, इधर ही है ये, बट लुक एट दिस फिगर, इधर से इधर तक लेके गया सस्पेंसर, उसको अंदर तक लेके गया है। सो बेटर इज द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ दिस सस्पेंसर, better would be the embryo development by eating food of the endosperm. Okay, then clear? Good. So that's all with your embryo development and endosperm development in monocot and dicot. This development of seed you already know, we have done in morphology. I'll just go through it quickly. The fertilized ovule forms the seed. The ovule increases greatly in size, will dry up. The outer integument becomes hard or leathery and forms the outer seed coat, which is called as testa, while the inner one will persist. It will be, not as hard as the testa. It will be called as the tegument. So testa and tegument, outer covering, inner covering, outer seed coat, inner seed coat. Okay. The nucellus is generally used up during the development of the embryo, but in some cases, it may remain outside the endosperm and it may form a thin layer, which will be called as perisperm. तो जब एम्ब्रियो डेवलप हो रहा है ना, किधर हो रहा है एम्ब्रियो डेवलप? इनसाइड द एम्ब्रियो सैक, राइट? एम्ब्रियो सैक जैसे ही वो और बढ़ेगा ना, तो एम्ब्रियो सैक कम पड़ जाएगा उसके डेवलपमेंट में, तो वो एंटीपोडाल्स को एंडोस्पर्म पुश कर देगा, ओके, और न्यूसेलस में आ जाएगा। अब न्यूसेलस को भी पुश करेगा और न्यूसेलस के भी सारे सेल्स वो यूज अप कर लेगा, ठीक है। लेकिन कभी कभी ये न्यूसेलस के सेल्स इंटैक्ट रहते हैं। If the seed bears a part of nucellar cells, we call that seed as perispermic seed. Don't forget this. Perisperm का मतलब है presence of intact nucellar cells in the seed. Fine. This is seen in काली मिर्च, black pepper में nucellus intact होता है. Fine. The endosperm may persist or completely get digested during embryogenesis. A scar is usually visible on one side of the outer seed coat. It is known as hilum, and it marks the point of attachment to the stalk. So funicle का जो attachment होता है ना with the placenta and the ovule, तो वो stalk को हम फ्यूनिकल कहते हैं, और जिस पॉइंट ओव्यूल के इधर वो अटैच्ड हुआ है उसको हम हाइलम कहते हैं। With these changes, the ovule changes into the seed and enters a period of dormancy while the ovary ripens to form the fruit. So fertilized ovule is the seed and ripened ovary is the fruit. correct? Seeds are of following type: non-endospermic or X-albuminous. X-albuminous seeds may endosperm is completely consumed by the developing embryo, and the mature seeds are without endosperm. The food is stored in the cotyledons. Dicotyledonous X-albuminous seeds are going to be your gram, pea, bean, mustard, mango, groundnut, etc. एंड मोनोकॉट्स है लेकिन एक्स एल्बुमिनस है, ऐसा नहीं होता है लेकिन एक्सेप्शंस हैं. सो मोनोकॉटिलिडोनस एक्स एल्बुमिनस सीड्स आर ऑर्किड्स, alisma, najas, pothos, vallisneria, amorphophallus, etc. Endospermic are generally your monocots. So in albuminous seeds, embryo does not get completely, it's not going to consume the endosperm completely, persists in the mature seeds. In these seeds, food is stored in the endosperm. Dicots है लेकिन एंडोस्पर्मिक है, ये जो एक्सेप्शंस है that is going to be your castor, poppy, atrobotris, custard apple, etc. What's your out? Najas are going to be your snake gourd. Okay. Monocotyledonous albuminous seeds are cereals, millets, palms, lilies, etc. तो ये एग्जाम्पल्स याद रखने हैं. यू नो ऑलरेडी व्हाट इज एक्स एल्बुमिनस एंड एल्बुमिनस और नॉन एंडोस्पर्मिक एंड एंडोस्पर्मिक. In monocot seed, the membranous covering of radicle is known as coleorhiza, while the plumule is called as coleoptile. Correct? The micropyle remains as a small pore or an opening in the seed coat. This facilitates the entry of oxygen and water into the seed during germination. Okay? तो जर्मिनेशन के टाइम पे जो पानी अंदर जाता है और ऑक्सीजन अंदर जाता है via the micropylar end. As the seed matures, its water content is reduced and seeds become relatively dry. See, though the seeds are dry, they are not completely dry. Even if they are dry, they will contain 10 to 15% of moisture by mass. So they will not be completely zero. 10-15% उसमें फिर भी moisture है, water है. Okay? The general metabolic activity of embryo slows down. The embryo may enter a state of inactivity called as dormancy, or if favorable conditions are available, that is adequate oxygen, moisture, water, temperature, these things may germinate. Okay, germinate means form the radicle from the plumule, grow as a seedling. Okay, what do you want, beta? What is poppy? Poppy is खसखस. उसको हिंदी में खसखस कहते हैं. Significance of seeds is very simple. That is, seeds offer several advantages to angiosperm. Seeds have better adaptive strategies for dispersal to new habitats and help the species to colonize in other areas also. So the seeds are going to be, you know, capable of being stored in fact. So they are going to be, get the capacity to adapt to the conditions and germinate as the conditions prevail. As they have sufficient food reserve, young seedlings are nourished until they are capable of photosynthesis on their own. So we have already seen in plant growth and development how the two cotyledons come out of the soil in epigeal germination, and how in hypogeal germination the reserve food is going to be given for the plant development. PGD में हमने देखा था recently. The hard seed coat provides protection to the young embryo. Being products of sexual reproduction, they generate new genetic combinations leading to variations. Yes. Some seeds produce various structures like wings, pappus calyx, hooks, or sticky substances, and the seeds are actively or passively transported to distant places. So, because of these adaptive structures, seed dispersal becomes very, very easy. Okay. Then there are several records of very old viable seeds. The oldest is that of lupine, that is Lupinus articus, which was excavated from Arctic tundra region. See, Arctic tundra में lupin की seed मिली थी और कितनी old है देखो. The seed was 10,000 years old because the seed germinated and flowered after an estimated 10,000 years of dormancy. Oh my God. For 10,000 years, this seed was embedded in that Arctic tundra region, which was excavated, which was removed, and it was checked if it can germinate. And after approximately 10,000 years of its, storage, also it could germinate. So it remained viable for around 10,000 years. Okay. A recent record of 2000 years old viable seed is of the date palm called as Phoenix dactylifera. So Phoenix dactylifera ये नाम भूलना नहीं है, and Lupinus articus भी भूलना नहीं है, ये regularly आता है, but this is given in your NCERT textbook, so there is no this is not an information unknown. This was discovered during the archaeological excavation at King Herod's palace near the Dead Sea. So this Phoenix dactylifera is obtained near the area of Dead Sea, where there used to be King Herod's palace. And Lupinus articus was excavated from the Arctic tundra region, which is estimated to have a life of 10,000 years of dormancy. Similar in the case in fruits of some parasitic species such as Oronbanche and Striga, these seeds have been found. In orchid fruits, each fruit contains thousands of tiny seeds. You know, orchids is loaded with seeds. Fine. So don't forget these two examples, especially Lupinus and Phoenix dactylifera. Easy, but still. Well, then we come to two हटके phenomena. एक है apomixis, एक है polyembryony. So let us understand what is apomixis and then polyembryony, which will complete this chapter. Okay. Actually, three हटके phenomena है: apomixis, polyembryony and parthenocarpy. But parthenocarpy is already known to you. ये दो नहीं पता है, तो इसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा ध्यान देना बेटा. Apo means without. Mixes is mixing. Without mixing of something, seeds are going to be formed. Let us understand what. Seeds in general are a product of fertilization. A few flowering plants, such as some species of Asteraceae and grasses, have evolved a special mechanism to produce seeds without fertilization. So there are no gametes to fertilize. Two gametes won't fertilize, and still seed formation is taking place. This is called as apomixis. So in apomixis, seed is formed, but that seed is not a product of fusion of gametes. Did you all understand what is apomixis? Apomixis is a form of asexual reproduction that mimics sexual reproduction. Mimicry करता है. There are several ways of development of apomictic seeds. In some species, the diploid egg cell is going to be formed without undergoing meiosis. So without undergoing reduction division, egg cell is formed. But because meiosis is not going to undergo, that egg cell will be diploid. Correct? And this diploid cell assumes it to be a zygote. And it undergoes all the processes that a zygote undergoes to form a seed. Okay? So without the reduction division and develops into an embryo even without the fertilization. तो यहाँ पर क्या हो गया? Gametes आए ही नहीं, meiosis हुआ ही नहीं. हाँ, तो वो जो egg cell, जो diploid egg cell या nucellular cell जो हम कहते हैं ना बेटा, it thought that it is 2n. तो उसको क्या लगा? उसको लगा कि मैं 2n हूँ, तो मैं zygote हूँ. और वो zygote के सारे processes undergo करके सीड बनाया. ठीक है. दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ हार्मोनल इम्बैलेंस. ये हॉर्मोन्स की वजह से होता है, ये जो हटके फेनोमेना है वो. ठीक है. मोर ऑफन इट इज सीन इन सिट्रस एंड मैंगो. मैंगो एंड सिट्रस में ये एपोमिक्सिस बहुत बार दिखाई दिया है. Hybrid varieties of several of our food and vegetable crops are being extensively cultivated by this apomictic process. Cultivation of hybrids are tremendously increasing its productivity. One of the problems of hybrid is that the hybrid seeds have to be produced every year. So every year you have to make new hybrid seeds. In seeds collected from hybrids, if they are sown, the progeny will segregate and do not maintain hybrid character. Since you have already started with principles of inheritance, I guess you will understand this sentence that when capital T small t is a hybrid, So when capital T, small t is allowed to undergo selfing, it will produce two types of gametes, right? And if you allow their selfing in F2 generation, what you will get? Capital T, 1, capital T, small t, 2, small t, 1. So you get 1 is to 2 is to 1 ratio in genotypic expressions. And in phenotypic expression, you get 3 is to 1. So if the farmer is going to sow the hybrid seeds in the F2 generation, three-fourths of its population will have the dominant good characteristics, but one-fourth of its population is a waste. It will have recessive characteristics, and this recessive characteristics are of no use. It's not going to have any market value, right? So hybrid seeds are not preferred. So then what is the other way? What is another way of developing seeds which will not have hybrid characters? Is to produce apomictic seeds. It's not a product of fusion of gametes. So there is no question of capital T, small t coming together. It's deployed its own cell, which is capital T only. Got it? So see, production of hybrid seeds is costly and hence the cost of hybrid seeds become too expensive to the farmers. If these hybrids are made into apomictic, there is no segregation of characters in the hybrid progeny. Got it? Then the farmers can keep using these hybrid seeds, means which are apomictically formed, to raise the new crop year after year, and he does not have to buy the hybrid seeds every year. So nowadays, whatever crops we eat are predominantly a product of these apomictic seeds only to maintain characters. Okay. Because of the importance of apomixis in hybrid seed industry, active research is going on in many labs around the world to understand the genetics of apomixis and to transfer apomictic genes into hybrid varieties. There's a lot of scope for this research still going on, but it has been already used by many of the farmers to have same quality of seeds and the crop. So these are apomictic seeds, not apomictic fruits. These are apomictic seeds, seeds produced due to the diploid egg cell assuming itself as a zygote. Got this? Any doubt in apomictic seeds? Anyone who did not understand apomictic seeds? Clear? Good. Okay. Finally, we go to polyembryony. Occurrence of more than one embryo in the seed is known as polyembryony. Poly means more than one. Embryo means presence of embryo. It was discovered by Leeuwenhoek in citrus. Polyembryony is of 4 different types. Cleavage polyembryony, first to be understood. Due to cleavage of zygote or proembryo into 2 or more embryos, and each split part develops into an embryo, this is what happens in human beings also. We have got homozygous twins. So when the zygote undergoes implantation and then the cleavage, as we had seen in the last year's lectures of human reproduction. So what was happening that time? We saw that cleavage was forming your blastomeres, right? So if during this event of division, if that zygote breaks into 2 parts, then both will undergo simultaneous development as 2 different individuals. Same thing happens in plants also. So the zygote, when it breaks to form a apical cell and the basal cell, if these two cells separate, then there would be 2 embryos developing simultaneously in the seed, which is an example of your cleavage polyembryony. Fine. This type of polyembryony is common in gymnosperm as well as angiosperm. They have given certain examples. No need of remembering these examples as of now. Simple polyembryony means what? Due to presence of more than one embryo in the embryo sac and so oospore or the egg. So what is going to happen? More than one embryo sac will be formed. Normally we saw that out of the 4 megaspore, only 1 megaspore develops. 3 degenerate, correct? But if at all, two sustain, then two embryo sacs will be formed. So two embryo sacs means two embryos. If all four will sustain, four embryos. That is as simple as that. The number of embryo sac formation will be directly proportional to the number of embryos formed. That is your simple polyembryon. Example is brassica. Mixed polyembryony. More than one pollen tube enters the ovule and it fertilizes the synergids also, the antipodal cells also, huh? The egg cell also. So in that one embryo, you may have so many, in that one embryo sac, you may have so many embryos. See, normally synergid should be sterile, antipodal should be sterile, but sometimes ये ऐसे हटके फेनोमेना हो जाता है कि synergid भी एग के जैसा बिहेव करता है, एंटीपोडाल भी एग के जैसा बिहेव करता है, और एक ही एम्ब्रियो सैक में कितने सारे एम्ब्रियो डेवलपमेंट हो सकते हैं. दैट इज मिक्स्ड polyembryon. Okay, and the most common is going to be your adventive polyembryony. That is, then diploid nucellar or integumental cells, they form the embryos. So here the nucellar cells will form the polyembryos. So there would be many nucellar cells which will start developing as embryos. That is called as adventive polyembryony. Example is citrus and mango. If extra embryos develop from the same embryo sac, it is called as true polyembryony. And if embryos develop elsewhere, it is called as false polyembryony. So your adventive polyembryony is false. It is not going to be, the embryos are not going to develop inside the embryo sac. It is going to be developing outside the embryo sac in the nucellar tissue. Okay. In Balanophora, an extra embryo develops even from the endosperm. This is a very, very hatke phenomenon. Okay. Huh. Yeah, let me complete, Komal, then I'll take you out. Okay, let me complete. Yeah. And lastly, to wind up with this particular session of sexual reproduction in flowering plants, we come to parthenocarpy. So the formation of fruits without fertilization is called as parthenocarpy. Now, all of you all keep your eyes, mind wide open and understand this. Apomixis will produce non-fertilized seeds, while parthenocarpy will produce seedless fruits. So parthenocarpic fruits are seedless, while apomictic are seeds only. The seeds are going to be formed inside, which will be formed as a result of non-fertilization. Here the fruit will be formed without the fertilization. But because the fruit is formed without the fertilization, these fruits will never have any seeds. Okay, so parthenocarpy is seedless fruit, and apomictism या apomixis is a non-fertilized seed. So उसमें seed बनता है, इसमें seed नहीं बनता है. ये first difference है in apomictic seeds and parthenocarpy. Okay. Such fruits are either seedless or non-viable seeds. Parthenocarpy is of two types, natural and induced. When seedless fruits are produced without any special treatment from the ovaries in the absence of pollination and fertilization, the phenomenon is called as natural parthenocarpy, which is seen in grapes, banana, pineapple, novel oranges. Novel oranges are those hybrid oranges which are seedless. Okay. Induced parthenocarpy, when seedless fruits are produced by spraying the flowers with either water extract of pollen grains or growth promoting hormones such as IAA, NAA, gibberellic acid, etc. The phenomenon is called as induced parthenocarpy. Example is tomato, blackberry, fig, lemon, apple, orange. सब जगह पर आजकल induced ही होता है. Even mangoes that you get now, they all are induced. Okay, they all are induced. So this is about your two types of parthenocarpy. So I hope you all have understood apomixis, polyembryony, parthenocarpy. Anyone who has not understood any part of this, please go ahead. You can ask your doubts now. No, that is the thing. That's fine. That the joint are just because of this polyembryony things only. है ना? We have completed this chapter, my dear. This chapter is over. Okay. So sexual reproduction in flowering plants is over. Lemon has one or two. Yeah. That is going to be there, but very rarely. Not that too much of it. Induced part, yeah, they may have seeds. Induced will have seeds. Induced one will have seeds. Okay. But the seeds are not viable. They cannot be used for growing new plants. Fine. Okay. So that's all with today's lecture and today's chapter. In the next class, we'll be going ahead with a new chapter. And that will be off, of course. Actually, I just wanted to confirm one thing from you all. That is, has Sir started with or done with mineral nutrition? No. Okay. Okay. No, then it has to be done. But if you have got parthenocarpic foods now, then the vegetative propagation is done for all of them. Okay. I haven't done. I haven't done mineral nutrition. Have I done? I completed mineral nutrition. Oh my god! Seriously? Oh, okay, fine. I forgot. Good that you told me. Chalo, fine. If I have done, then that's okay. Sure, na? I was only not aware. I was only not sure. Chalo, fine. Then it's okay. Then now next class acha for my role, my role for your completion of portion, botany is completed. Okay, so we have done with entire botany. We have done with entire botany of 11 plus 12. Now there is no more botany left for you all to do from my end. Okay, so next class we'll go ahead with a new chapter, and that will be in the next week. Okay, Chal, fine. You will come to know, of course. I have given the entire timetable to ma'am that how to go about it. ऑफलाइन मार खाओगे क्या? बाहर का कंडीशन देखो कैसे है. हाँ, इवन आई एम वेटिंग फॉर दैट. इसलिए मैं एक चैप्टर स्टार्ट करने वाली थी एक्चुअली नेक्स्ट क्लास में. मैं अभी वही देख रही हूँ क्या करूँ क्या नहीं करूँ. और अगर ऑफलाइन मिलेगा तो आई बी प्रेफर्ड टेकिंग इट ऑफलाइन. बट एनीवेज लेट्स सी. ओके, fine. So next lecture will be on Wednesday. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll see my recordings. I haven't seen my recordings for some days. I was very busy with the new batches and new admissions. I'll see. Okay. Chal. Bye, beta. See you all. Have a nice day. Take care.